Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. As we've talked a lot about the St. Jude Bass Classic with Rick Leslie and Gary Conklin in the studio with us. Gene Smith is filling in studio for Ron Wong.
Yeah.
And we've given Ron a little break because he's out in Sacramento, and so
he's having too much fun out there.
Yeah, well, he wants to tell me all the work he's done, getting up early and all that kind of stuff.
I saw the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, he's either eating or talking to somebody, you know. So, so Ron will join us as we talk a little bit later. But special guest in the studio, Gene Smith. Learned about this gentleman. I've heard his name many times over the years, and he's getting ready to attempt something that no one's ever done before. You don't get to do that very many times in life, but we've got Dale Sanders with us on this morning from out in the Lakeland area, Davis Plantation. Good morning, Dale.
Good morning.
Talking that microphone, Dale. We're going to talk. You're getting ready to do something. Tell my listeners out there what you're going to do.
Well, I'm getting ready to paddle the full length of the Mississippi River from its source to the saltwater in the Gulf of Mexico.
And you're doing it for a reason.
Yeah, I've been for a long time trying to think of something I could do for type 1 juvenile diabetes. My grandniece, Anna, has been afflicted with that, and her pancreas is completely dead, as an example. So she's living with that, and I've been trying to come up with something I could do that would help with research and maybe get a cure for that dreaded childhood disease.
Well, this is quite a thing to do. I mean, tell them on June the 14th, how old will you be?
I'll be 80 years old, so I'm going to be paddling the Mississippi River in 80 days at 80 years old, and no one has ever done it at that age before. So I will. Looks like if I can do it, I'll have the record.
Well, and
how many miles is this?
Well, it'd be 2,400 miles. Rounded out, it's actually a little bit about 30 miles less than that, but it's easy to remember. 2,400 miles, 2,400 miles in a canoe all by myself.
I don't think I've ever walked that far in my whole life.
Yes, you have. Yeah, you have. You've been all over Shelby Forest out there.
Yeah.
But this is also the man that has put in at Bateman and well, you've done the Wolf River from where it starts in Holly Springs all the way to the Mississippi, right?
Well, yes, I put in with two other guys on stand-up paddleboards, and I was in a canoe, and then there was a third guy in a canoe as well. But I put in there and actually finished paddling from Baker's Pond to the Mississippi River in 8 days, and first person to do that in the water. I mean, taking a boat from Baker's Pond all the way to Mississippi. There have been other people that have done it, but they've had to hike quite a few sections around those huge, huge swamps up there in Holly Springs National Forest.
How old were you when you did that?
Well, that was two years ago.
2 years ago. Okay, 2 years ago he did that. So that's quite a feat. And we're talking to Dale Sanders, who is preparing to leave on Tuesday to head north to start paddling the Mississippi River. He'll turn 80 on Flag Day. He likes to tell people Flag Day on June the 14th. But Dale, your career amazes me. Now, I'll be 72 very soon here, May the 23rd, while you're getting ready to turn 80. So you've made me feel a lot younger. I can tell you that and everything. But, folks, if I can describe Dale, he's got a little hair on his face and a little hair on his back there.
That seems to be very popular lately.
Yeah.
More than Gene's got.
Yeah,
more than Gene's got. Well, Gene's growing it, trying to get it like that and everything. So I look at your career. You've had a career around water, parks, and recreation, and things along that line. Did you really hold your breath 6 minutes and 14 seconds?
Yes, I did, but that was a few years ago. And the actual record, that was a record then, but the actual record now is a lot more than that. But I was at the bottom of the swimming pool for 6 minutes and 4 seconds.
Wow, and he wasn't drowning. He's a scuba diver. You've had a fascination with water, it seems.
All of my life.
How did that develop?
When I was still in high school, I got a job as a lifeguard Kentucky Lake,
Uh-huh.
Camp Curry, a boys' camp up there, and I stayed there for 3 years and ended up as an instructor. And from that first job at Camp Curry, Conservation Corps in Kentucky, it just launched into the aquatic career, and I stayed in it my whole life. 47 years in Parks and Recreation.
47 years in Parks and Recreation. And let's talk about the Mississippi River. You selected it. You didn't want to go down the Tennessee, or didn't want to go down the Missouri or the Arkansas. Why the Mississippi?
Well, first, I need to tell you that to do something for juvenile diabetes, I was going to hike the Appalachian Trail until I found out that the oldest guy, oldest person, I think it was a woman too, old woman.
Old woman.
I did it about 81. But I found out it was 82, the record, so I decided that
go for something else.
I would go something I'd get the record for. The Mississippi I've been a river angel here in Memphis for years, hosting and putting up and helping resupply the through paddlers coming through here, paddling the Mississippi from source to sea. And so the Mississippi just popped out as the thing to do.
So what's the challenges ahead for you?
Well, the biggest challenge is the first week of Lake of Tasca to Bemidji, the first town downriver, which is really north. You got the first 100 miles is north, but that they've had a drought up there, and there's hardly any water in the Mississippi River. Can you imagine that? If you just locally compared Non-Kahana Creek to the Mississippi up there, so we got 50 miles of Non-Kahana Creek conditions
Oh my goodness.
to travel in. Otherwise, I got to start at Lake Itasca because I can't get the record.
Yeah, you got to start where it starts then.
Got to start where it starts.
So that's the first challenge, and then you're averaging about 30 miles a day, and you're not staying at the Holiday Inn Express and things like that.
No, we were sleeping on the sandbars.
You'll be sleeping on the sandbars.
Matter
Right.
of fact, you can actually see with Spot Tracker, one of my sponsors, the sandbar we be camping on, that I will be camping on. I'm paddling solo, but there's a film production crew, Adventuritis Productions.com, that's going to be with me doing a full-length movie. And so if you wanted to log on to Spot Tracker and several websites, we'll give them to you later, but you can see, if you zoom in a satellite view, you'll be able to actually see the tree that we're camping on. It's that accurate.
That's pretty amazing. And you think about the challenges. Is this what did Dale Sanders want to be when he was growing up? Did you ever imagine yourself doing this?
No, I imagine myself in a Parks and Recreation career, but I thought it'd be more in an acrobatical field. And
Acrobatical fields. Yeah. Tell my listeners, you just stopped a trucker going down I-55, said this guy wanted to be an acrobat.
I was a tumbler and a hand balancer.
You were?
Yeah, I tried the circus, but I hated that life.
You did try the circus?
I did. Yeah.
How long were you in the circus?
Oh, about a year. And
about
that was
a year,
enough
huh?
for me.
Yeah, that was not what you wanted to do and everything. So now to prepare yourself. Now, Dale, how big are you? What size do we have here?
Well, 5 foot. I used to be 5'6", but I think I'm shrinking a little bit.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Yeah. All right. So you're 5'6" and about 150 pounds, or
155.
155 pounds. This
He's
is gonna,
in pretty good shape.
Well, I know.
I'm standing here looking at him and looking at me. I'm almost twice his size.
Well, yeah. Well, you going to float with him? No.
I would be floating if I was in the water. Yeah.
I better be in good shape, because that first 50 miles on the Mississippi up there, I hear the mud is knee deep and the water is about 2 inches deep. So
yeah.
we're going to be walking and dragging the boat a lot.
What have you done to prepare for this physically?
I've been dragging. We lived on a large easement, gas line easement, and neighbors keep it mowed real nice. So I've been dragging my boat up and down that easement to get ready for the portages. For the paddle part, I have a pond, and I've been trying to push the dam down.
Yeah.
By just put the nose of the boat into the dam and just paddle like.
Paddle again.
Yeah. What response are you getting from the people that you're going to try this?
Well, when they see me pulling that boat up and down that gas line, they think I'm crazy.
And the boat you're using is what now?
I'm using a Winona Wilderness Class. It's 15 feet 4 inches long. It's the ultralight boat.
Weighs about how much?
31 pounds started out, but when I get my gear in, it must weigh 500.
Yeah.
It must weigh 500, and that's what you're trying to do. Is of course you got to deal with so many other aspects of this trip, the weather,
Mosquitoes.
and
I've asked many people what the most difficult thing paddling in Mississippi was, and they didn't say barges. Most people, the first thing they'll say is barges, dangerous.
yeah.
But if you stay away from them, they'll stay away from you. But the biggest problem that they have really is insects, mosquitoes and black flies.
Yeah. So you got to have plenty of bug spray and all this different kind of thing.
And also we're going to wear the hat too.
You're going to wear the hat too. And
Also, you
screen on
remember one year we had some canoers come down to Mud Island, and they went to eat, and their gear disappeared.
Oh, that one guy, he left it there too long alone, and he
Yeah,
camped in the wrong place.
he camped in the wrong place. And now, do you have family in Memphis?
Yes, I do. My wife and children, as well as grandchildren, are here.
Okay. So what's your wife's name?
Miriam.
Miriam.
Yeah.
That's my wife's name.
Well,
That's
what do you know about
What do you
that?
know about that?
That's my friend's wife's name.
Yeah. Well, we won't go any further than that. So, yeah, my wife's name Miriam. So, how many children do you have?
3,
3. And how many grandchildren?
2.
All right. Now, are they all behind you on this? Was
they're-
Miriam, because I know you
well-
wanted to go around the world or something with her? Or
Yeah, we backpacked around the world a few years ago. We would fly, of course, from country to country a lot of times. But then we backpack the country, and then we get on another airplane, take off. But I burned her out. She didn't travel much after that.
she didn't travel much after that. I could understand that. So
I would be a little tired walking around the world.
yeah, we're talking to Dale Sanders of the Lakeland area and Davies Plantation on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're going to take a break right now and come back and continue this conversation with this amazing man as we talk about his challenges of paddling the Mississippi River. 80 days at the age of 80, and I think that going to have a lot of folks now in modern technology. You can actually keep up with him. I know back in the old days, the Pony Express would have to come up and find where you were. You and I. Technology is amazing now that we couldn't have thought about this, and now that he's told me he's been in the circus for a year, I don't know. So let's take a break. Come right back with Dale Sanders on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.